why surface level communication is killing your marriage and how to go deeper. Are you tired of your marriage not growing? You're not alone. Welcome to Why Your Marriage Isn't Growing, a podcast helping couples reignite their relationship, break free from the trap of just getting along, and rediscover the joy and passion they once had. Welcome back to another episode of Why Your Marriage Isn't Growing. My name is Greg.
My name is Carolyn.
In this episode, you'll discover why surface level communication might be slowly destroying your marriage and exactly how to create the deeper connection you're longing for.
Okay, so let's talk about 3 benefits that they'll discover in this episode.
Why don't we?
All right. The hidden dangers of staying at surface level and how it's eroding your connection.
A breakthrough conversation technique that transforms shallow interactions into meaningful moments.
How to create an environment where authentic sharing becomes your new norm.
Because the stakes and the opportunities are very high. Many Christian couples spend years talking about schedules, children, and chores while never truly knowing each other's hearts. What if a few intentional changes could transform your daily interactions into soul-connecting conversation? That would be deep. What do you think your life would look like there?
It would be so much better. So let's talk about point number 1, the hidden dangers of staying at surface level and how it's eroding your connection.
That's so important.
It really is.
And David so eloquently describes that in Psalms 139, verse 23. Keep deep knowing, search me, God, and know my heart. Marriage should not reflect this transparent relationship with God, yet many couples remain strangers to each other's inner worlds. Now that's deep with all in itself because you're married, but you still haven't taken time out to get to know the person deep and intimate. And we've talked about on some previous podcasts on the importance of intimacy inside of a marriage.
Okay. I want to talk about what it is. The progressive relationship damage caused by surface level communication, emotional distance, assumption making, unmet needs, and the gradual death of intimacy through 1,000 shallow conversations.
Well, basically, you want to track your conversation for 3 days. You want to conduct a communication depth chart where you're auditing this information. Track your conversations for 3 days, noting topics discussed. That's important because when you write it down, it's like my wife always says, you don't have to forget what you can write down.
You don't have to remember.
Remember what you write down.
Yeah. Calculate what percentage stays at the informal level, schedules, tasks, and decision.
That's great. So you can identify missed opportunities for deeper connection. Because if you don't write it down and you're not being 100% transparent, you're going to miss something.
Then you want to reflect on how your relationship felt in the beginning versus how it feels now.
Now that right there is an interesting observation, meaning when you go through this communication depth chart, you're tracking your progress, you're writing it down. It's like you're journaling your life to see where the pitfalls are. Because when you write it down and you really have a discussion about it, then you can move in and discuss with your spouse, what would we gain if our communication went deeper?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think our marriage would be if we allowed our conversation to get deeper than it is right now?
If it would, people wouldn't find themselves in a quagmire.
So explain what a quagmire is, because we might have somebody on here that don't know.
Quagmire is like getting stuck in the mud, getting stuck in place, not moving forward.
So basically, we're not allowing each other to grow
Right.
by not asking the questions of what do you like? What is it that you don't like? How can I do this to improve this? What can I do to have us move forward? And then be journaling that, because we said this when you have schedules and tasks. So hopefully you're getting that and you will go back and you will re-listen to this podcast. This is a very crucial, even though the previous podcasts were just as good, this one's a good one because it's allowing you to track. So point number 2 is a breakthrough conversation technique that transforms shallow interaction into meaningful moments. Now, this is powerful right
Okay,
here.
so let's talk about what it is.
Right.
The layers method, a progressive approach that moves conversation from surface facts to meaningful heart connection.
You're getting to the root of the issue. We're talking about meaningful heart connection. Now you're getting deep into the weeds and you're getting to the root of it because you want to know why that's so important. Because Solomon is wise, and he states this in Proverbs chapter 20, verse 5. The purpose of a person's heart are deeper waters, but one who has insight draws them out. Intentional conversation skills can transform even ordinary moments into opportunities for genuine connection.
So let's talk about what to do. You want to practice the layers method in daily conversations.
I like that.
Listen fully. Give complete attention before responding.
And again, ask deeper. What was the experience like for you? If you're just charting this down and you're not asking, what does that really mean to you? Then now you won't get understanding of what your spouse is feeling or what actually has her excited about being with you.
And then you want to yield to feelings. How did that affect you emotionally?
That's a good question.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you explore that meaning, what does this situation mean to you? You exploring it. What does all of this mean? Why are we even doing this?
And you want to reveal yourself. Share your own relevant thought.
I really like that. So now you're beginning to be more vulnerable and you're opening up. You might discover some new things about your spouse that you didn't even, because now you're doing things intentionally.
Right.
Because you're seeking understanding. What else would help me understand your perspective? Asking that question.
Well, you know, sometimes people are so used to not getting the other one's perspective.
Why do you think that is?
Habit.
Getting used to that person.
Yeah. Habit.
Going forward, how important point number 3 is.
You want to talk about how to create an environment where authentic sharing becomes your new normal.
I like that.
So let's talk about what it is. Practical ways to establish emotional safety that transform your relationship into a place where deeper communication happens naturally, not forcefully.
Because you don't want to try to put a square peg into a round hole. I got excited. And the reason why we're saying that is because if it doesn't happen natural, it's like a robot. There's no feeling. There's no emotion. And 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 8, it calls to be sympathetic, love one another, be compassionate and humble. These qualities create the atmosphere needed for authenticity to flourish. Meaning it's going to be like sweet. Just picture it as your favorite beverage or the favorite food that you like to eat. How sweet that feels and smells and tastes, how your taste buds just jump up with enjoyment. Like you just want more and more of that. That's how that conversation should be.
So you want to talk about what to do?
Institute no phone zones. We've got that every Friday. Designate specific times and places as technology free. You and I do that every Friday.
So you want to create daily deeper questions. Take turns asking one meaningful question each day.
I think that definitely should be a requirement. And that's why when you journal it, then you'll get to find out, and then you get a deeper perspective, and you just understand this, and you practice, and you receive the responses. Replace problem solving with, I hear that you feel statements, not the other way. I hear how you feel, and you just write that down.
And you want to establish a sacred sharing time, 15 minutes daily without distractions, solutions, or interruption.
I like that. And the part I like the best is make connection commitments, specific promises about how you'll receive vulnerable sharing. You're being transparent at this point. You're allowing yourself to be open and vulnerable because, again, you want this to work. This is the reason why Christian marriages aren't working, because they're not establishing a blueprint, a playbook. See, Carolyn and I didn't have this when we started. We were just doing this at the, what would you call it, how we were doing
there's
this?
no marriage book that really tells you how to be married.
Flying by the seat of our pants.
Well, God intends for you to learn each other.
And we weren't doing that.
Mm-hmm.
We were not doing the things that we're doing now. This is the reason why we created this podcast, because we saw from the research that we have been doing over the years that Christian marriages weren't growing because they weren't allowing themselves to be transparent. They weren't loving each other. They didn't have any faith. They had lost faith. Now, here's the thing. You're going to church every week, week in, week out. You're reading the Bible, but then your marriage is ragged. That's not healthy. So what are your final thoughts on this message that we've been sharing with the people on this podcast, girl?
Well, surface level communication isn't just boring. It's dangerous to the very foundation of your marriage. God created your relationship as an earthly place to experience being fully known and fully loved, a reflection of our relationship with Him. When you break through surface communication, you're not just having better conversations, you're fulfilling the divine purpose of marriage as a place of transformative intimacy that changes you both.
See, you're allowing your mind, your body, and your soul to become transparent and intimate. So now you're in the process of becoming one. You're allowing your body and your mind and your spirit to become as one. Now what you'll be doing is you'll be completing each other's sentences. And you're creating these safe zones.
Yeah, those are important.
You got to create these safe zones and create these boundaries where some things just can't be said. And then you have to ask yourself, why are you saying it? What purpose do you have for saying that? Is it to hurt the person or harm the person? Or is it to heal them?
All right.
So let me recap the things that we've gone over. We explored how surface level communication gradually erodes mutual connections, marital connection.
We learned the layers method to transform everyday conversations into meaningful moments.
We discovered practical ways to create an environment where authenticity thrives. So you being your authentic self.
That's right. Deeper communication isn't just a nice enhancement, but essential for true intimacy.
Because with intentional practice, meaningful connection can become your daily reality. With intentional practice, meaningful connection can become your daily reality. And you want this to be daily. You don't want this to be weekly, monthly, yearly, something you do occasionally.
Okay.
You want to do this every day. This is how you root out Satan and his imps, by communicating and uplifting and encouraging your spouse every day.
Fun, you'll enjoy it more.
Correct. And it won't be so unbearable, and you will find yourself having less fights. I promise you, this stuff works, but it only works when you apply it. It's just like reading the word. The word only works when you work the word. If you don't work the word, it won't work. So we want to thank you for joining us today. We got new episodes that release every Monday and Thursday. So be sure to follow us everywhere you're listening to podcasts. If today's message inspires you to break through surface level communication in your marriage, please share it with someone whose relationship might benefit from these insights. And like I always say, to God be the glory.